Hey, we're gonna take a look at my very first and very second Crusader Stronghold 2 multiplayer games. I don't know what to expect, don't know what's gonna happen, don't really even know what my own plan is. I'm just gonna take advantage of the fact that there's no fog of war, look at what my opponent does, and kind of try to do the same or a similar sort of thing. So in the beginning, we're just going to do a standard opening where we throw down a bunch of wood and then add houses and then add wood and then add houses, because that's the quickest way to get your economy going. If you start with food and then later add wood, or if you start with, food and candles and stone and metal, and you sell the stone and metal and buy wood, it's all much slower, because one peasant getting stone, then selling the stone and buying wood is going to get you 20 wood per day, and the same peasant just mining wood is going to get you 40 wood per day. And since wood is what it takes to build buildings, you just really always want to start off spamming wood. So I take a look at what my opponent is doing to get an idea of what these multiplayer games are going to be like, and I see that he is immediately attacking me with all of his crap. So I built a mercenary encampment just in case that happened, and so now I'm going to dump all my money into mercenaries, which means lowering my taxes all the way to 0 just to get my happiness up to 54, so that I can quickly dump my money into some mercenaries and defend myself. But then once the micro starts, I forgot to raise my taxes back up, so he's going to have money coming in that he can spend on more troops, and I'm not. Also, I thought that attacking him with all my melee troops was a good idea, even though I have a bunch of archers, and I could have kited him all day long and not fought him with my melee troops. Also, my entire economy is basically wood-based at this point, so eventually I'm going to run out of food, especially because I'm eating 2x rations, but the game might not even last that long. Anyway, you can see that I'm so flustered by what's going on, and I'm like, what the heck? But so because I'm flustered, my taxes are set to 0, my rations are set to double. That's just the wrong setting to be in. So I make some more mercenaries, and I fight his troops with my mercenaries. But his lord, in the early game, your lord, which is like if your lord dies, you lose the game. Your lord is so powerful because they don't want the game to just end in a bum rush. So they make both people have a super powerful lord that can basically kill anything that comes at it. His lord is so powerful that everything I sent into him didn't really do any damage. They all just kind of hit his lord while his other troops killed it. So my response to what he did was just terrible. But it doesn't matter, because I have archers and horse archers, and he has a bunch of super slow motion surgeon at arms. Also, it's worth mentioning that the fact that he got surgeon of arms this early means he either bought a bunch of armor and weapons, or we both start out with a bunch of armor and weapons. And if we do both start out with a bunch of armor and weapons, then I'm stupid for not using them, and going pure mercenary instead of barracks, or both even. Anyway, so my lord almost died because I didn't realize until the very last second that his plan was to walk up there and kill my lord. I thought, I sent all my troops against his lord and didn't even do a tiny bit of damage. So I figured when he sent all his troops against my lord, the same thing would happen. But apparently, those slow, beefy sergeant-at-arms really beat the crap out of lords. So anyway, it's going to take a long time for just a small number of horse archers to kill the sergeant-at-arms and his lord, but it will eventually happen, and he can't catch my lord because I'm the same speed as him, and I can just walk in circles. But then he intelligently makes some macemen, and macemen are super fast with sprint, and they just walk up and kill my lord, and that's the end of the game. So as soon as this game ends, I'm going to start another game, and I'm thinking to myself, if I just made a tower, put my lord on top of it, and then deleted the stairs, then none of that would have worked from him. Also, if I had just kited from the beginning instead of like trying to melee him with all of my gold, that would have been better. Also, if I didn't throw away all my food, and if I didn't stop collecting taxes, that would have been better. So I'm like, that was my first game ever. I messed up. Let's try again. I think I can do better. So in this game, again, right from the beginning, I'm going to make that tower, thinking I'll put my lord on top of this tower. If he attacks me, I will just delete the stairs, and then my lord will be safe no matter what he does. And then I'm going to take a look at what he's doing, constantly keeping an eye out for whether or not he's rushing me, because last game I didn't notice he was rushing me until really late, which meant that I had to immediately cut taxes and raise rations to get enough troops to spend the money that I had. And this game I want to have a lot more warning. So I see that he's building a ton of wood collection buildings, and I'm going to set up bread production, and I only have 3 wood production buildings. So skip forward pretty far into the distant future. You can actually check the score in game by clicking the score button. So I see that I have 22 population, and he has 35. So I'm so far behind economically at this point that there's no way I'm going to win if we just keep econing against each other. Because he intelligently went wood first, and then bread, and I went bread first and then wood, and that's just stupid. I should have gone wood first like he did. Anyway, so I catch up by sending suiciding in like 8 conscripts and all of my starting men at arms. I just run them in and kill a whole bunch of his buildings and a bunch of his peasants, and then come back home to defend in case he does the same thing. So then he builds a distant stone quarry, and I'm like, well, let me do it again. I'll go kill the peasants that are mining stone and kill the stone quarry. And he makes some cavalry archers to defend his stone quarry, which is intelligent. I really like cavalry archers. They're kind of a jack of all trades. Their only susceptibility is to archers, and you can make movable shields to defend them against archers, or you can just make your own archers. So cavalry archers shoot while moving, so you don't even have to stop and shoot like archers do. You can just run around in circles around people. So against anything except archers, cavalry archers just will kill them without even getting hit. A lot of high armor things don't take a ton of damage from cavalry archers, but the fact that they can't hit back means eventually the cavalry archers will win. Anyway, so because there's no fog of war, I see exactly what he's making. He's making cavalry archers, so I just spam a bunch of archers and put them in a little ball. And so he sends his cavalry archers into my archers. They all immediately die, and then I walk across the field and kill his food production, right? This specific map, which I like a lot compared to that capture point map. I don't like the capture point map. I like this nice small map where you both share the same food patch. So it encourages a lot of immediate fighting. And, you know, like, we're like buddies. We're both mining food from inches from each other. So anyway, I send my lord to the top of his keep and start fighting his lord, while having my archers shoot at his lord and my conscripts kill his conscripts. So I think that should go about evenly, but apparently I don't know if there's like a defender's advantage where if a lord's standing on top of a keep it's better than the guy who's attacking, or if I just got unlucky. But his lord comes out of that fight way better off than my lord. He's got half his health left, and I've got almost no health left on my lord. So now it's just kind of like kiting time. Keep my archers shooting at his lord, and keep my lord running away, and he's never going to catch me because he's so slow. And because he kind of last-ditch efforted when I was killing his lord. He turned off all his buildings. Like if you select your keep, there's a button to turn off all buildings, and that will turn all your workers back into just standard unemployed peasants, and then you can immediately turn them all into conscripts by spending a couple of bucks. So that's what he did, and then they all died. So now his population is 0. My population is 45, and so I'm mining a ton, and he's not mining at all. So he can't reinforce this lord, and eventually the lord dies, and that's the end. So that's my first experience with Crusader Stronghold 2. Hopefully I'll have multiplayer. Hopefully there'll be better multiplayer games in the future. See ya.